Hey, what's up, guys? It's Steve here from Globital, coming to you from sunny South Africa today. Welcome back to the Globital YouTube channel. So, what we do here at Globital is we are here to help you design your agency to deliver. And when I say deliver, I'm not just talking about your clients, I'm actually talking about delivering for you. So your digital agency basically creates an income and a life that you want, which is why we're all basically here and working after all. So in this video, what we're going to be discussing is some digital agency business ideas that you can implement into your business. Specifically, what we're going to discuss is 5 key things that you need to start your digital business and get it going and get your digital agency going. So as a digital agency owner here looking to create the most amazing digital agency possible, why don't you just hit the subscribe button below, subscribe to our channel, and we basically come to you every Monday with videos focused on building better digital agencies. And also while you're here in the comments, I'd love to know the one thing that you're going to go and take away from today in this video and going to implement into your business immediately. There's a bunch of ideas that I'm going to share with you, so please let us know in the comments below what you're going to implement now. That's pretty much it. Let's get on to our video. All right, cool. So kicking off with the 5 things that you need to start your digital business. Essentially what we're going to kick off with is an online presence. Now, obviously, the first thing that you're going to think of is a website, which is true. And you are going to, obviously, you don't want to fall into that trap if you speak to anybody who's running a digital agency or anybody who currently runs a digital agency. What you'll often hear is the old story of the cobbler's son who has no shoes. You know, we tend to neglect our own marketing, and a lot of digital agencies, you'll go to their website and there'll be nothing, there'll be an under construction page or something like that. You don't want to fall into that trap. But what you also don't want to do, and this is key, is you don't want to waste unnecessary time, effort, and money on building an online presence of some kind that's not going to be beneficial to the agency that you're building. All digital agencies are quite different from each other. So you want to build an online presence and actually do marketing and online work to market your own business that makes sense within your business. So you must have a plan around what you want to do. And you must understand what is the purpose of the strategy that you're putting together to actually market yourself online. Maybe building a big, expensive, multi-paged website is unnecessary for the kind of business that you're building. Maybe you would do better with a Facebook page, or you do better with a landing page of some kind. You know, make sure that you plan out your online presence and your marketing strategy that you're going to want to put together so that it makes sense for the kind of agency that you're building. Of course, there's a ton of options that you have ahead of you. You can go do your marketing on social media platforms. You can, as I said, build a nice expensive website. You can have just a landing page. You can have nothing. You can maybe rely completely on referral business at least to get going and networking and that sort of thing, and actually have no online presence. But whatever decision you make sure that it's informed by a real strategy and a real purpose that you've put together and you've planned out so that you know that you're under control. All right, great. So now that you've decided what your actual strategy for getting online and having an online presence is going to be, you're going to want to think about the story of your agency. Now, a lot of agencies just go out there, build a website, and try and copy or look for all other kinds of agencies. But recognize that the digital business and the digital agency that you're building is unique to everybody else's digital agency. Understand that you are telling a different story. It's your story. It's your story as to why you're starting the business. It's your story as to how you're starting the business. It's your story as to what you want to achieve with the business. So make sure that as you're building that online presence and that you're rolling out the strategy to get going in your digital business, that you're actually telling the story of the digital business. Things that you can focus on while you're trying to tell your story. I mean, it's a little bit of a thing that we tend to not know. A lot of us don't like to think of ourselves as very good storytellers. So some easy ways to think about what should go into your story is answer questions like, why you? Why should your clients or your potential clients be choosing you to do their marketing rather than someone else? That's a great place to start, because that'll help you start to inform your story and get your story going. What you're trying to do is you're trying to make your case. You're trying to put your pitch forward and say, hey, this is all about me, and not all about me, sorry, this is all about you, the client, and this is why you should choose me as your marketer. It's key that you make this, as you tell the story, that it's not a self-serving exercise. You're not trying to drone on and on about you and your agency and why you're the best, etc., etc. That is a common pitfall that most marketers fall into. They tend to be very self-serving about either themselves and their own digital businesses, and can also often bring that into the client's work that they do. They tend to be very self-serving about the client that they're trying to do the work for. Rather, make it about the client that you could potentially be doing the work for. Tell your story. Tell them what they need to know about you, but do it in such a way that they can walk away from it knowing how it's going to benefit them. This is key to storytelling. You need to get the person who's listening to your story to buy in, and the best way to do that is to make it about them, not you. Get your story clear, get that into your marketing, get that into your online presence. All right, beautiful. So now you're online, you're telling your story, and you've got a bit of an online presence. Obviously, the purpose of all this is to generate leads and to generate business for your new digital agency. Now, of course, as a digital marketer, you need to be an expert at lead generation, because this is the kind of tool, the kind of effort that you're going to be making on behalf of the clients that you service. So we need to think about how we're going to generate the leads, obviously. Now, my advice would be, before you rush out there and start burning through budget and burning through money on a bunch of different paid forms of generating leads, for example, maybe it's Google ads or Facebook ads or things like that, before you rush out and start going down that route, I plead with you to rather, as a marketer, think smart. You're a young business, you're just getting started. How can you generate leads for free? There are a bunch of ways that you can generate leads for free. And if you master these ways of generating leads for free, you can also pass those on to some of your clients and generate leads for them as well for free. So I'm thinking about ways like, for example, email marketing. Very simple way, free way to generate leads for free. You may come into your digital business, maybe starting out, and you may be just thinking, hey, I've got a small little database, 100 people on it, whatever it is, maybe past clients, maybe people who you've generated out of an advertising campaign that you did before, whatever it is. Maybe you had a fair or an event or something, you generated a bunch of email addresses. Email market to them. Nice, well-crafted, sincere, storytelling email to that database could generate you 1 or 2 leads. In the very early days of your business, all you need is 1 or 2 leads to start getting going. The next free way of doing it is also a pretty great way, is referrals. You know, if you do have 1 or 2 clients you've already engaged with, who you're working with, who maybe you've completed a project or 2 with, ask them for a referral. You know, if they're happy and you've done a great job on their campaign, why not just ask them to pass through a few of their friends or family or colleagues that may need a website built or an SEO campaign and need some leads generated. Ask for referrals. And, you know, there are a bunch of other ways. You know, if you just sit down and think about it logically for a minute or 2, you'll come up with a bunch of ways yourself. One that jumps off the top of my head: sit down, smartphone in hand, start going through your contact list. One by one, phone those contacts. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them about your new business. Get your little story going. Explain to them why you're getting going, what the story is, what the agency is about, and how you can help them, or potentially someone they know. Free ways to get leads is very, very simple, at least in those early days to get going. Once you start to get busier and busier and you start making a bit more money, then you can start looking down the free leads path. But in the beginning, you can just go down the free leads path and go that way. Brilliant. So another thing that you're going to need to think about and possibly need as you start your new digital business and start getting going in those early days is you're probably going to want a niche. You're probably going to want to look at the market out there and think about who in that market, that wide world of people that you could do digital marketing for, do you want to focus on and niche? Niching is important because it allows you to create a much more focused and much more effective product and service for a specific branch of the or industry within the bigger market. It's a really tough one though. We get questions like this all the time from agencies about how do I choose my niche? How do I go about it? There are a bunch of ways to choose your niche. Obviously, one good way to think about how to choose a niche is think about your history as a business person. And now that you're starting your own digital business or a digital agency, what do you bring to the party in terms of potential niche? Have you worked in any other industries in your job history? Do you know of any good friends who you could potentially who work in an industry where there's a big demand for digital marketing? Think about ways in your past that you could potentially choose a niche from there. Once you have come up with your niche and you've got an idea of this is a good market for me, this is people who have the money to spend on digital marketing, they need the digital marketing, and I've got a bit of a background in that, I can potentially help these people. Then you have to research the niche. Knowing what your niche is about is absolutely key, because if you're going to niche in optometrists or doctors in the medical field, for example, and you know nothing about it, and you haven't bothered to do any research, it's going to come through quite quickly to those people who you're engaging with to do their digital marketing. You have no idea what you're doing. So you really need to research it, learn what makes them tick, and also speak their language. You know, really dig down into their business, understand what their job is about, understand what their business is about, not just what their digital marketing needs or what their marketing needs, or understand how their business works. They'll help you and allow you to provide a much better digital marketing service to them as you start to develop the business that specializes in optometry or schooling or education, whatever it is. Amazing. So the fifth and final thing in this video that we're going to discuss that you're going to need as you build out and develop your own small digital business and start to get going as you build your digital agency is some sort of business know-how and business structure. This seems pretty obvious, but you'd be surprised how few digital agencies actually get this right. What you're going to need is you're going to need a business plan, for example. You're really going to need to know what is your actual strategy for rolling out this business? How are you actually going to develop what you're going to do, and how are you actually going to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself as you build your digital agency? Have you set up forms of payments? Have you set up a debt collection facility? What are you going to be doing about resource partnering and actually getting the actual work done and the execution of the work done? Now, there's a bunch of things that any business, whether it was a digital agency business or it was any kind of business, that are common throughout all businesses. These are the kinds of things that you need to think about as you build your digital agency. Don't neglect them. Get them on paper first. Build your business plan out and understand and make sure that it makes sense financially, and set goals for yourself so that you know that you're going to achieve them, and so you can always monitor how you're doing in your digital business so that you know whether you're achieving your goals, you're on target to achieve your goals. If you need to adjust, lessons you're learning, you can actually take advantage of that. If these are, obviously, if this is something, particularly this business thing, if this is something that you find challenging or that you haven't thought about too much, look further down in this playlist. We've got a bunch of videos that tackle things like business plans, debt collection, team building, and stuff like that. So please take a look in the video below. Fantastic, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. That's the end of the video. Obviously, those are the 5 things that we think you need to think about when you're building and starting your own digital agency business. Just some digital agency business ideas that you can think about. Please comment, like, subscribe down below. And plus, if you'd like more help, particularly around this topic of starting your own digital business and getting going, I've put a link down in the description below to our agency starter kits. It's a digital agency launchpad, free ebook that you can go download. Just hit the link, request the ebook, and we'll send it off to you. This is a comprehensive ebook that will take you through those first early days of actually building your business, and actually things that you need to think about before you actually start putting triggers. It was really, really helpful. It's helped a bunch of agencies already, so we really think it will be something that you can take benefit from. And obviously, once you've read through that, if you do need some help actually putting together your own business, we've got a product for that as well, which we can help you with as well. So start there though. Start with the agency launchpad. It's down in the comments below. And that's it for now. I look forward to chatting to you guys next week.